there's uncertainty around money and stuff like that to do with your job, so that kind of insecurity. Now, you might have also not really been that happy in your job. You might have been working long hours, you might have been insecure about your kind of promotion abilities, you might have been experiencing other kind of stress in the workplace. You might have a boss that discriminates against you or is harassing you. That was certainly the issue that I had in my previous role. So lots of things can happen at work, and then throw into the mix now we've got a global pandemic, and you might have to work from home, and you might have to work from home. You've got young children at home, or you've never worked from home before. So tech is these are all new kind of skills that you're having to learn. That creates a lot of stress within you as well. So I know there's somebody here tonight that's got 2 young kids at home as well, and I know working really hard to try and find that balance. That in itself is quite stressful, to do your normal job and do all the other stuff like schooling people and feeding people and parenting, and especially if you're on your own or partners are out at work. So yeah, work stress that's a big thing at the moment. Add into this life stress, right? So just now, I know there's people here that have lost people, particularly during, this pandemic. But generally, as we go through life, we do tend to lose people. Relationships break up, divorce, potentially losing jobs, really taking, you might have been in a situation where you had a lot of financial obligations, taking care of people or trying to take care of people at the moment, who are maybe locked down or are locked, what's the word I'm looking for, not self-isolating, or shielding even. So, these can be really worrying factors as well. Like, this is a huge kind of traumatic event that's happening in the world. And it's happening to everyone, and it's affecting everybody slightly differently. So that's a huge life worry, and another thing that can be a stressor. And then the psychological part of that. So this is what's the kind of internal part, if you like. So the fear and uncertainty. This is something that I've always felt really passionately about. This. I don't watch the news for this reason. CNN, I call it constantly negative news. Before the pandemic, news was always like this. It was always, fear-inducing, and that is, people are absolutely consumed by the media just now. So if you're watching the news and then you're on Facebook and then you're watching the updates and then you're, engaging in conversations online about this, you're feeding that fear and uncertainty within your mind. So, being mindful of that, obviously stay up to date in what's happening. But what I do is I get myself 5 or 10 minutes to kind of read what I need to know about that, the day's activity, and that's it. And I don't want to talk about it with everybody that I have a conversation with, because I've got other interesting things to talk about as well. Let's see. Oh, I've just realised how dark it is in here. Let's see, is that a wee bit better? Maybe marginally. Let's see, just seen that on the screen there. Well, that might be better. So psychological worries, also things like attitudes and perceptions. So you might have seen a big change either in yourself or in others at the moment. So you can see this tension in people when you go to the supermarket or you're in a shop. So usually I would put this like people that sweat the small stuff. Somebody cuts you up in the motorway and you get really raging about it. You're disturbing yourself here. But now what's happening is people in shops shouting at you that you're not exactly 2 meters away from me. So that can create, a sense of disturbance within yourself as well. Oh, this is a good one. Unrealistic expectations. So this situation in particular, but in life in general, I think, oh man, we give ourselves such a hard time, don't we? And, we have these really unrelenting standards for ourselves that we have to be perfect, we have to do this and we have to do that. And it's just not realistic. It's totally not realistic for anybody to do the right thing all of the time. But putting that, yourself under that kind of pressure, that's not going to leave you feeling relaxed and calm, is it? No, exactly. Something I would say about you, right? So me, you, everybody, we're all different. So some people can take a lot of stress. Some people can really absorb quite a lot. Oh, hang on. What's happening here? let's see if I can go back. Some people can really absorb a lot of stress, and some people tolerance to stress is quite small, and that again is to do with, you know, lots of different things. You know, how you grew up, the way you grew up, how you were kind of modelled stress. There's also biological connections to stress. There's you know, stuff that goes actually back to like grandparents, like your DNA, if they were stressed, you know, lives on within you. So there is lots of different elements. That's why people do respond differently to stress levels. But if you find yourself kind of always feeling a wee bit on the edge, like on the back foot, like kind of ready to kind of spring up, then it's probably because you're in a high state of stress. I also know just now for everybody that change probably will be on your plate. Just like those kind of life and work things, you know, there is major changes at play, and that is stressful. So that there literally hasn't been a more important time, certainly not that I can think of in my lifetime, for us to really take care of ourselves here. You know, that there is a lot of stress going on, and you might have arrived here before this stuff happened with a whole bunch of stuff of stress before this. So it's stress on top of stress. So I really want to take care of you and attend to that. So what happens? So remember I said when we start this thought process, we start the worrying, then we activate the anxiety response, right? So this is known as fight or flight. Now, a couple of interesting things to note here, right, is that when your brain is thinking, so when you're worrying and you start to create those what if scenarios, now you might talk them, you might hear them as words, you might visualize that. Your brain can't distinguish between whether that's real or imagined, right? So it starts to prepare for what it needs to do in this situation. So if the thought is that, you know, I'm going to die, then your brain is like, I need to get out of here. Like, I can't stay here. I need to go. So it starts to create, it activates what's called your amygdala, right? That's your threat system. That's part of the old brain, the reptilian brain. But it activates this threat system in this part of the brain.